So, in this second aspect of exploring what the voice of the mother is, I want you to tune in inside again to remember and recall specifically for you how the voice of your mother registers in you. And just recall it, maybe make a note or two, and then place it to the side. Because we all have an internalized voice of the voice of whatever parent figure was the most instructive or directive for you, but also maybe the one who either built you up or put you down, because sociologists state that something like 70% of everything we say is a judgment. So imagine that, like, what are we placing on our children? But let's just set that aside for a minute because I want to talk about a different voice of the mother. And this is specifically related to this theme of the divine feminine. So imagine that there's some larger voice, a feminine voice that speaks to you that beckons, that really beckons you into a strange new way of being. And it feels scary because, of course, we're trained to trust the familiar and to trust what the culture embraces specifically, right? Like, get up in the morning, do your fitness, go to work, take care of the kids, come home, go to bed, rinse, wash, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. But imagine there's another voice. In both the Christian and Jewish traditions, there was this feminine figure called Sophia, which of course we liken to wisdom now. But there's a specific kind of wisdom that Sophia represented, which was the translation of the divine into living. So there's this notion that it is a feminine presence which kind of renders or delivers a message from source or light or wisdom, whatever that is, inspiration, some place on high that isn't necessarily on our laundry list, that gives us a wisdom about what's wanting to happen in us or for us. And this is a really key voice to attend to. And in our last video, I alluded very briefly to this notion of making ourselves receptive, being feminine in terms of our awareness or our mindset, that simply closing your eyes and attuning to what is within is a receptive act, which allows higher streams to reach us, making time for that. So I think it has also been likened to the still small voice. So how much time and room do you have in your life for the still small voice? Can you hear the delicate whispers, or are you busy? So imagine, I don't know how it is with you, but sometimes you've tried to reach a friend and you're just not connecting and it's always busy, it's always busy. Sometimes you just let that friend go because it's just annoying. And that's a little bit of a personal challenge, but in our relationship to the higher or more delicate or wiser unifying forces, we're asking ourselves, have I made room for you? Or are they getting a busy signal? So this is also the voice of the mother, the divine mother. In the Ten Commandments, it says, honor your father and your mother. This is meant both as the voice of wisdom, but also as the voice of the mother of creation, i.e. Mother Nature, and our relationship to the planet, who is a living and sacred and wise being who can endure and hold many different life forms in her keeping. And sometimes she has to take care of herself and have major clearings and major shakeups in order to reset herself for what is appropriate for her at that time. And we as mothers also do the same thing. Now, I know that as women, we're trained to always be super gentle and very delicate and very considerate. But what happens often is that if one is too nice, so to speak, you become the prey of narcissists who will just take all that you have to give, and you're not claiming enough room for yourself. Only you can know what you need. Some women need a lot of room because they're supporting a huge ecosystem, and that's their glory, that's their strength, that's them shining in their moment. And some women are much more like a really delicate orchid on a branch of a tree, and that's their function in life. So this self-knowledge in terms of the voice of the mother also is really informing us about what kind of being am I? And I know that my own nature is a little bit more like a hummingbird. I don't have that just vast reservoir of strength that can support an army. I'm much more delicate in my nature, and so I have to make sure that I don't bite off more than I can chew in life. I don't know what yours is, but the question is, are you listening? Are you listening to that other mother, the greater mother? So in feminine mythology, which is pretty interesting stuff, I highly recommend it, there was a notion of the good mother, the great mother, meaning the earth, and the matrix, meaning, wow, this mysterious web of intersection between what we call in or what's wanting to happen and the field of potential, the quantum field in which things may or may not occur. Now, today in contemporary chaos theory, it's really fascinating. They've shown that something just as delicate as the wing of a butterfly's movement can translate into huge effects somewhere else. This is all part of the interconnectedness. And so each aspect of our day and our life and our breath, our thoughts, our choices, our statements ripple out across the field of potential because the matrix of life, the great mother weaver of what comes into manifestation, is the ultimate mother. And so if we are very courageous and shake off many, many social temptations to just, I don't know, lie by the pool with our girlfriends or work deep into the night to finish the 800th marketing plan for a client. If we blow these things off and we are listening intensely, we may establish a connection with the web of life itself in a very profound way. So these are all facets of the voice of the mother, and I hope that something in what I've said has uplifted your day. And if this video inspires you, I really encourage you to like it or share it with your friends, because my goal in life is to inspire women to be all that they are born to be. Take it easy.